Rugby. I looked it up. The only rugby I could find this weekend was the Currie Cup and the Fosroc Super Sixes, a Scottish semi-pro competition. What am I supposed to update you on? So let's just start with the Currie Cup, I guess. The round-robin matches finished this past weekend and the semi-final teams were confirmed. Also, the final log makes for some dire reading if you're a Lions or a Cheetahs fan. No surprise that the two best funded teams in the country, the Sharks and the Bulls, topped the log. And the rest of the numbers were made up by the Griquas and Western Province. And look at this fucking Bulls backline. I mean, are they trolling with all the 2017 Lions legends in there? Are they trying to make me upset? I can't handle this, man. No, I should calm down. The Lions were always poopy. I'm equipped to deal with this. One of the semis will be between the Bulls and the Western Province. A big old rivalry. Do not count on the Bulls winning though. There are often upsets in Currie Cup semi-finals, especially when it's the Bulls, the Sharks or Western Province. You just never know who's going to show up. The Bulls really should win though. Really. Come on. Really. The other semi-final will be between the Sharks and the Griquas. And congrats to the Griquas for making the playoffs. It's always very nice to see a smaller union in there, even if it was at the expense of my team. Why are we so shit again? Why are we at the bottom of the Currie Cup log? No, calm down, internalize it. Release it as a heart attack later. Now, the Griquas have beaten the Sharks before this year in Durban, so the Sharks shouldn't expect to just show up and make it to the final. Should be a good match. On to the Fosroc Super Sixes, I guess. The Watsonians beat the Southern Knights, the Ayrshire Bulls whooped the Heriots, and the Bears beat Stirling. Who are these people, and why are they at the bottom of this rugby barrel that I'm scraping? Where am I? Southern Knights, I choose you. Go win it for the rest of us Southerners. I feel close to you. So let's have a look at the news off the pitch, since the pitch itself is empty. The United Rugby Championship, or URC, has released its first fixture list in its first ever season. And the first ever match will be between Zebra of Italy and my Lions, who are shit now, so we'll lose. Damn it! Just woosa. It has been quite the flurry to see who's playing who first. I'm most excited to see all-conquering Benetton versus the Stormers, and also Leinster versus the Bulls, and Munster versus the Sharks. You may have noticed that the SA teams are all traveling at first, which means there should be a little bit of pain at the start. But they should get better as the season rolls on. Except the bloody Lions. There are other tournaments as well, including the Super Rugby 2022 season, which has just been announced. South African teams are now fully out, and in their place, two teams from the Pacific Islands, the Fijian Drua and Moana Pacifica. Cool names. It's nice to see Pacific Island teams get a seat at the table, and I'm sure this will help their development and depth a bit. Realistically, the competition will still be ruled by the New Zealand teams, and mostly by the Crusaders. Hopefully, the tournament will stay this way for a few years, and the Aussie and Pacific Island teams can get their standards up to match the New Zealanders. Hopefully. COVID has really done a number on Southern Hemisphere rugby, and hopefully the organizers are shooting for some stability in this competition. There have just been too many formats over too few years, and it's pushed fans away. Also, the Crusaders have won too much. Speaking of stability, the cupboard holding the Bledisloe Cup didn't have to be unlocked again this year in New Zealand. There is one more dead rubber Bledisloe Cup, but not dead rubber Rugby Championship match between New Zealand and the Wallabies this weekend. Thank goodness. That sentence is over. The All Black squad that travelled to Perth doesn't have Mo'unga, Sam Whitelock or Aaron in it. All of them are staying home because their wives are expecting babies. The talent in just the lower third of those three players can win any match. So if the Wallabies want to beat the All Blacks this year, this weekend is the game. Hopefully Saturday will bring more entertainment and maybe even an Aussie win. And then a bunch of articles saying how much more entertaining these two teams are than the Springboks. Sorry, just got to get this chip off my shoulder. And that's it for this week's update. I will see you all next week. Bye! Fucking Lions are useless.